Together, the living and the built constitute the syntax octopus of life. So, this is a simple model of the syntax octopus.
The shape-shifting protagonist is this octopus. This octopus is a grasping of the arrangement of matter on earth.
These are the round gods, the scales of body. The square is scales of material endeavor.
Perfection must be life's nested grip on reality. This octopus with tentacles at multiple scales that can just grip on the central narrativity strand on Wheatle so closely, so elaborately. A hunger, which is a trajectory to satiety. The body, a nested grip on reality. Supreme economy, the form missed by Deleuze and Delanda. They stopped at mise en abîme. The octopus of life's making explores the inky blackness of reality with creeping tentacles of meaning. It seeks traction. The octopus seeks to exit the invisible background cave. The moon is the aesthetic revelation of constraint. For all of life it has been the glowing exit of the cave.
It seeks the exit of the cave. The moon, the image of the exit of the cave.
The mind-bending truth of the biologists. Their life has intent, trajectory toward fruiting. That life has intent.
These processes of evolution and elaboration are living structures and built structures. The narrativity of evolution is at the scale of individual lifetime. So it's very highly segmented. And the reproductive success of that, we can extend from individual reproductive success to family, kin, at the social. Evolution leaves us hanging. Acceleration of change beyond the speed of adaptation and evolution. We now must have the artificial mitigation of selective pressures, which is air conditioning. An evil experience in response to which there is no evolution. An evolutionary narrative crisis. Evolution itself is a kind of endless continuum fading on. These genes begin another species, which begin another species. It's very difficult to say in narrativity. In fact, species is sort of the specious thing that is named so strongly. It's super important for judging loss in the garden, but it's not so necessarily so scientifically astute. Yeah, especially for sort of like taxonometric reasons. Yeah, more important is complexity, which defines scales. So these are the scales of biological complexity. So it's very highly segmented, evolution is. At the other extreme, elaboration, the elaboration of the socially built structures. That can mean, literally, social structures, actual built environment, or we could call it a materialism. Yeah. This has a very different narrativity. The narrativity is a changing relationship with time that has three keyframe structures. The spore is where that scale of creature comes upon the materialism. They do it at the society level. Of course, their bodies necessarily extract, refine, and recombine from the environment, but at this point they are doing it at a social level. We could call it a materialism.
I would be very hesitant to talk about a system. I would say that we're getting a pragmatic assemblage of activities. There is what you might call best practice. Mm-hmm. You see, what's valuable about this best practice concept is it's a bit loose. Mm-hmm. There are different levels of provision which are appropriate to different levels of economy. Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, we all know leaps forward that can be made by putting in the very minor, very low cost water supply, sewage and drainage and footpaths in slum settlements. So that's what I mean. I prefer the dialogue, the best practice, the flexibility, where you have a number of standards being discussed all the time and applied, so that you get the one that's appropriate to the socio-economic level at which you're at.
You know, it's a single one, the best one. Everybody gets one. That's the fruit of modernity, is that we can mass produce the finest for all. As they build structures, or as their shit accumulates, their body, their evolution, responds to this new reality that is the product of their own artifice, and they become increasingly materialist. They evolve to make use of their shit, they evolve to make use of the built structure, and they evolve to become ever better at doing.
Nice.
Then there's a procession structure. The bridge, imagine for cells, single cells, an immensely elaborate coral where generations of single cells live and die in this material structure. Then there is the formalization of the inherent narrative of the materialism, that cellularity can support organism. Culture sorts out what it is to have a set of economies. It sorts out exactly what is a kind of ideal navigation of reality, these systems. So this is an emergence theory about how we come upon these leaps in complexity. And it says it's by the elaboration of the built structure that we practice the next scale before it finally is originated. That is not the whole story of cell, but that is the narrative of elaboration.